Vibe Talks. Vibe Talks. More than just music.
This is Vibe correspondent Minera Douglas.
Man grows in the womb of his mother, and he grows into this state. So you grow gradually into perfection. No one is expecting anyone to make a transition overnight and all of a sudden drop all their bad habits and stuff. No, that wouldn't be human nature. That would be something that we have to fear.
That was a younger Malachi York in his prime. He's 15 years in to his 135-year sentence, serving it out at Florence Admack's underground prison facility. Mr. York's new legal defense team has petitioned the Obama administration for his clemency, inciting that the original court case was a conspiracy to destroy his image and that there was no physical evidence provided to support any of the charges against him. I speak with the head of Mr. York's defense team, Victoria Broussard. What gravitated you towards this case?
I was very compelled once I started learning about his case, which that occurred through a person named Mario Jessup, who is my mate. Once I met Mario, he started to explain to me what happened with Dr. Malachi York, and I researched the case and determined that this was something that I wanted to be involved in, that I would contact him by letter, by correspondence, and start a dialogue and find out if there was anything I can do to help. And through that experience, we developed an attorney-client relationship, and he wanted to hire me.
Can you explain what were some of your biggest challenges coming on to his case initially, and maybe some that you're going through right now?
Initially, one of the largest challenges I had was gathering information and obtaining knowledge about the case and what had been done previously by the many lawyers that had gone before me and all of the various people who had come aboard to help. So that gathering of information process took a minute. You know, it took a long time for me to get the transcripts. I had to do a lot of communicating with a lot of people at the outset to, say, hey, this is where we are. This is what Dr. York wants. He wants me to represent him now, so let's make that transition. So getting information and the entire process of learning exactly what was done so that I could then pick up the pieces and learn from whatever had been done and whatever mistakes had been made, and whatever things had been done correctly, I could just duplicate that and move forward with the most pointed and valuable, thoughts about how to make sure that we can make something a success for him.
What are some of the biggest misconceptions revolving his case that you might want to clarify?
Well, I think one of the biggest misconceptions as it relates to the original trial, if I may go back there, because, that's where it all started, was the RICO charges did not produce any victims. There's been a lot of talk over the 15 years about the victims of this case. Well, the truth of the matter is that the RICO charges were intent crimes. And so it was never proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that any sexual activity ever occurred with a minor. So the onslaught of propaganda at the beginning of the case, because there were two cases moving simultaneously at that time, the state case and then the federal case. Now, the state case was dead docketed, and there was never a trial of my client in the state case. And the reason why is because the bar is quite high to prove sexual misconduct with a minor in the state case. And once all the evidence came out, it was very clear to the prosecutors that the evidence wasn't enough. And so that's when this concoction occurred of the RICO charges and the Mann Act charges, because those charges are much easier to gain a conviction on in the federal case.
Can you tell us about York's current mental state and his physical condition?
Well, currently we do have litigation pending in the United States District Court of Colorado for constitutional medical neglect against the Bureau of Prisons on behalf of my client. Right now, my client suffers from hereditary angioedema and high blood pressure, along with various other ailments, those two being, of course, the most serious. He is on high blood pressure medication. However, the hereditary angioedema does have different effects and can conflict with the blood pressure medication. So we are trying to make certain through the use of our expert witnesses that whatever medical remedies are being sought through the BOP, that they will not harm my client. Medically, he is not well. He has hereditary angioedema attacks frequently and is not getting the proper medication for that at this particular point in time, which is why we are pushing so hard to make certain that he does get the proper medication and that he is moved to a facility that can handle the complex nature of the disease called hereditary angioedema.
Talk to us about the current petition you have online.
Yes, certainly. Actually, we have simultaneously, we have two aspects of the clemency moving together, which we hope will work together in concert and give us the results that we're looking for. We've made an application for clemency, which has been presented to the pardon attorney and the president, and that is a comprehensive package of information that we've provided, which I can't necessarily share all the details of. We've submitted a supplemental application and are in the process of submitting a second supplemental application, which has all of the things in it that the president and the pardon attorney need to consider as it relates to my client's rehabilitative qualities, as it relates to the things that my client has done in the past prior to his conviction, and as it relates to the clemency power and the initiatives that are moving forward right now, as we can all see with the Obama administration reinvigorating the clemency power of the executive branch. So all of these things in concert with the Change.org online petition, which if you would go to Change.org and search my last name, Broussard, you can pull up Dr. York's online petition, and we'd love for everyone listening to this broadcast to go and sign that petition and read the thousands of comments that other people have left about how Dr. Malachi York has changed their life. Both of these things working together, we are hoping and believing will make a difference for him.
There was a previous petition as well, although it was not orchestrated by your legal team. What makes this time any different, though?
Well, I'd have to say that one thing a couple of things actually have made a significant difference. The first one is my passion. I'd have to say that my passion to bring about a result that is going to benefit my client and all involved is what I'd have to say that, sparks me every day, every morning. And not only that, but, I am also a survivor of childhood sexual abuse. So I know, based on my personal experience with many pedophiles, I know what a pedophile looks like, what pedophiles do, how they speak, how they act. And based on my personal interaction with Dr. York, which I have had a great deal of, meeting face to face and interviewing him and discussing his case and discussing all the things that have occurred over the past 15 years. We've exchanged over 100 letters over the past several years. So my personal involvement is one of the things that I believe makes a great difference. And the other thing is that we did hire a PR team, a public relations team, and they're working diligently alongside everyone else to make something happen.
Your client has been maintaining his innocence throughout his incarceration.
That is correct.
Where can our listeners go to get more information on the situation, updates, and just give them the website again for the petition?
Absolutely. The online petition can be signed at www.change.org. And if you search my last name, Broussard, B-R-O-U-S like Sam, S like Sam, A-R-D, the petition will come up. It says, "Pardon Dr. York." And if you would sign that and share it, I would be so very thankful and appreciative. You can also find information on my Facebook page. I have a law office of Victoria Broussard Facebook page, and I also have my personal Facebook under Victoria Broussard. There is a great deal of information circulating now. We have blogs that are going out consistently on a daily basis. We have all different types of social media outreaches to give people an opportunity to learn more about Dr. York and about his case. So if you would just type in York online, there's a plethora of information that will come up.
You can hear that report again and share your thoughts by visiting vibe105.com. Now, back to the Vibe studio.
And now back to your Vibe 105.